Morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Thursday, June 25th, 2015. The main fire potential impacts for the next 3 to 5 days are going to be the record heat and dryness that we're experiencing across much of the Great Basin, starting today really through the first part of next week. In addition to this heat, we're expecting a little bit of moisture to rotate around the center of the ridge up into portions of western Nevada and up into western Idaho. Starting in western Nevada today and into Sunday, and moving into western Idaho Sunday into Monday. We had a few lightning strikes over far southeast Utah yesterday, and there was a little bit of precipitation accompanying these storms. This is a new map we'll be showing, which displays the current fire activity. The yellow dots show ongoing fire activity by fire size, and the orange dots show the new fires as of 1900 last night. There were just a few new fires yesterday, with the biggest across the Arizona Strip coming in at about 80 acres. This morning's water vapor imagery shows the center of the high pressure still located to our south and east, but it's beginning to make its westward progression, and we'll see temperatures start to rise significantly beginning today and into the weekend. Many of the PSAs across the Great Basin have moved into the yellow category as we're seeing large fire potential beginning to increase. We have some very hot and dry conditions across the Sierra Front today. Maximum temperatures are in the upper 90s across much of Utah and Idaho. However, over western Nevada, that's where we're seeing our warmest temperatures, with triple digits already moving into that area today. Minimum relative humidities continue to be quite low, with single digits expected over much of Utah and Nevada. By Friday, the ridge strengthens over the Great Basin, and we're still seeing a pretty dry signal across much of the region. However, there is some moisture that moves around the ridge that's going to kick off some very isolated thunderstorms, mainly just over the Sierra Front on Friday. Temperatures continue to rise across the region for Friday. The image on the right shows the expected weather for Friday afternoon, with mostly sunny skies across much of the region. However, there are a few spots where we could see some isolated thunderstorms, including over the mountains of southern Utah, but more importantly along the Sierra Front, where fuels are dry and susceptible. Those thunderstorms will be quite isolated, but they'll be dry in nature and could be efficient fire producers. For Saturday, the moisture continues to increase along the western periphery of the Great Basin, with very hot and dry conditions centered over the Great Basin. We'll see thunderstorm coverage increase just a little bit on Saturday along the Sierra Front. Maximum temperatures continue to remain very warm, with record-setting temperatures over much of western Nevada and up into western Idaho, with Boise seeing a high of 105 on Saturday. Thunderstorm coverage may increase slightly over the higher elevations of Utah, as a little bit of moisture makes its way underneath the ridge. On Sunday, the moisture further increases, especially along the western periphery of the region, and we should see some isolated thunderstorms move into the Payette and Boise National Forests. These thunderstorms will start on the dry side, but may be accompanied by light amounts of precipitation by day 2 or 3. On Monday, the weather pattern remains generally the same, although we'll start to see more moisture continuing to filter into the region, and we'll see thunderstorms spread into southwest Idaho. This area may also see thunderstorms moistening up by day 2 or 3, but the initial thunderstorms may be on the dry side and could cause a fire problem. The trend continues for Tuesday with thunderstorms in the region. If you look at the map on the left, the deeper moisture remains on the outside periphery of the Great Basin, although we will see some of these thunderstorms begin to produce precipitation by Tuesday. ERCs have been on a rapid increase over the last few weeks. However, most of those values are still coming in near normal for the time of year. One exception is over the west central Idaho mountains, where we're actually setting records for the time of year for our ERCs. Live fuel moistures across the region are on the downward trend, and we're seeing a pretty typical decrease across much of our sagebrush sites. There are a few areas where sagebrush is still above normal for the time of year, but on a downward trend. The 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center is calling for continued very warm temperatures across the Great Basin, particularly northern Nevada and western Idaho, and we are looking for deeper moisture to move up into the southern portions of the Great Basin during that time frame as well, keeping our main area of concerns for fire potential over western and northern Nevada and western Idaho. This concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.